And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
I wanted to convince Vince that my gimmick was great and it would make him money if he'd give me the chance.
Maxx Payne.
The Man Mountain Rock.
Oh,
I would have
still
stayed
felt,
with.
you still felt you could make that?
I'd have done Man Mountain Rock, no problem.
There you
With all
go.
due respect,
I agree.
I'm going to give credit to the fan, right? Because I agree with him. Davio's saying out there, Rick Boogs is Man Mountain Rock, by the way.
Yeah. And what's ironic about that is now 30 years later, it's a good idea.
It was a good idea back then.
Except but the problem was, well, so let me. You got to hear the story. It won't make no sense.
We're with you.
So here's what happened. I got to go back to WCW. This won't make any sense.
Right. Okay.
So it has to start with where the idea finally manifested itself for Living Insanity, for my band.
Origin. Okay.
I was in a dressing room one night, and Brad Armstrong, a couple other guys, we were like the last guys in the dressing room. Brad was in the shower, and all of a sudden he started singing. And I'm like, holy fuck. And right when he came out of the shower, I said, Brad, I have been putting this dream together my whole life, and I just heard my lead singer. He goes, really? And I said, yeah, you. He went, what? And I said, Brad, you're fucking badass. And Brad goes, oh, come on, Max. I said, no, listen, do you want to be, if I can pull this together, do you want to be in my band? And he said, yes. So, Mark Merrow, you know what I'm talking about? Johnny B. Bad.
We sure do.
Johnny B. Bad, about a week after I heard Brad singing, called me on the phone. And we were actually getting ready to go rehearse me shooting him in the face with the Bad Blaster. And he called me on the phone. He said, Max, I have an agent, and she came to center stage the other night and saw you wrestle Vader. And she knows about your guitar playing, and she really wants to talk to you. And I said, okay. Because I was really ready to go now. I got the singer. I already had. So Nick Patrick and I were doing the road together. And Nick Patrick, I don't know if you know this, he's a hell of a guitar player.
Really?
Yeah.
The NWOF referee.
Absolutely.
What the fuck is going on here?
So
Continue.
Nick and I were practicing. Brad's there. I have a friend that I grew up with who is in a Led Zeppelin cover band.
Okay.
So he's a drummer. So that tells you how good
he's doing John
Are you dude? That's how I met
dude,
him
please.
in school. So
He must have been incredible.
Oh, he still is. I actually tell him this. We're gonna.
Yeah.
So I got music coming, brother.
Yeah.
But he's the greatest undiscovered drummer in the world.
And if he's watching the show, you rock.
His name's Nathan Carroll, and
There we
Nathan. So I taught Nathan how to be a wrestler. I had a territory, and I taught Nathan how to be a wrestler. So now, and then I had another friend that was going to come that was going to be the bass player. He was a wrestler. Nick, and now I got Brad Armstrong.
You're
I got
incorporating music and rock together.
You're
Hogan.
Well, except the difference for me, what I wanted to do was to be incredible legit. And I thought the way to do that was to, and I had, so with Living Insanity, I had all these ideas that it started to gel. And I'd already written like 3 or 4 songs. And so when I talked to this agent of Mark Merrow's, she immediately said, yes, I want to manage you. Let's go. So I went to WCW and I said, listen, I need to buy and build a recording studio. There was a new thing coming out at the time called ADATs. And ADATs were the first digital recorders. And so I went to WCW, and they had a lady that worked in the office that I was really good friends with. And I said, do you think I could talk WCW in to cashing me out on my round trip tickets home so I could build this recording studio?
As a trade-off.
Yeah, as a trade-off.
I got you.
And she said, her name was Paula, and she said, let me find out. She called me back. She said, Yes.
Dude, that's a bold idea. And
So they
and
fucking
bid.
So they sent me a check for
right.
35 grand.
For how much?
35.
Okay.
And so I took that money.
In 19 what?
93.
All right,
94?
19,
Yeah.
almost 30 years ago.
So what I did is I bought what was called the Elise's Dream Studio. It was 24 tracks of digital tape.
Okay.
I bought Neumann microphones, AKGs.
So you had state-of-the-art.
I had state-of-the-art.
Okay, fine.
And I had state-of-the-art 2 channels of preamp, compression, and what's called a TLA, which is a tube leveling amplifier, one of the best from a company. They're all tubes. Company called
So
Summit.
at the time, it was top notch.
Very high end fucking tube shit, right?
I got you.
So I bought all that, and we went to the fucking agent's house. Brad went with us. Said, yes, I'm on. Woohoo! Signed the fucking deal. Flew everybody to Atlanta. Brought all my friends to Atlanta.
So you got the rock and wrestling all synchronized.
Brought my drummer
Okay.
there to fucking, bought him a brand new fucking Sonar drum set.
Right.
So he comes, I mean, he's
Spoiled
never had a brand new
bastard.
drum set in his
Anyway,
life.
okay.
So he comes
All
and
right.
gets a brand new drum set, and we set forth to record this album. So the next day after we sign, I say, okay, we're meeting tomorrow night at this place in Atlanta I'd rented. That's a good story in and of itself. I won't bore you with that part of it.
All
we
right.
rented this band studio, and 7 o'clock next night, all the rest of the band, Nick, fucking
Nick Patrick. You
Nick
got
Patrick
Armstrong on
yep.
vocals.
No,
Okay.
Nick's a guitar player. So Nick, my guy from Nathan, my guy from there, Dr. Squash, and we all are at the fucking place. Brad doesn't show up. First fucking rehearsal, Brad doesn't show up.
After everything you put together.
Dude, I fucking got
And
my.
he knew.
He knew.
that you put all
Oh,
this
he knew.
together. That's great.
Next night, called him.
Oh, you didn't know?
Yeah, next night, he wouldn't answer the phone. He quit answering the phone. We signed the contract, he vanishes. Now I'm like, what am I going to fucking do? I just spent all my money. I got all these guys fucking here, and the phone rings, and it's Tex Schlesinger. And I can hear he's like at a bar or something. He says, Max, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm fucking depressed. And he goes, yeah, I know. Listen, I got somebody you need to meet here at the Outback. Get your ass over here.
Outback.
Yeah, steak.
You hate that steak.
Yeah, right. Well, that I did. I was still eating them then.
He hates that steak.
Well, at the time they were good. Years
I
ago they
like
were
'em.
great.
Years ago they were good. It's
Yeah,
really
so-
bad.
Now, leave it alone.
So anyway, I go to the fucking Outback. Here's Tex, and here's this fucking kid with dreadlocks, and I'm like, hey, and he goes, Tex says, hey, this is Brian Armstrong, and I'm like, huh? He goes, this is Brad's brother. He just got out of the military. He's back. This is Brian, and I'm like, wow, cool, nice to meet you. So we fucking sat there and just laughed and drank, got fucked up. And we go, I said, why don't you come back to my apartment? We'll smiz, we'll fucking have a little, okay. So he comes back, and I had this guitar I called Pegasus. It was the fucking biggest piece of shit, white fucking acoustic guitar. It was so bad, you'll really appreciate this, brother. It was so bad that the fucking frets from the 12th fret on were so fucked up, I just pulled them off with a pair of pliers and only used the first 12. But
This
it was an
thing's
amazing.
ruined.
No, but
What do
wait
you
a minute.
mean?
No, it wasn't ruined. My son
wasn't?
still has his fucking guitar.
saved it.
It was amazing because it was full of magic. And you know what I'm talking about. Some
yeah,
guitars
it had a particular
some
stubbornness
guitars
to it.
got that
All right.
fucking thing in them, and this is one of them. I wrote all my songs on this guitar, and I still
Right.
have it. My son has it.
Right.
So I said to Brian, I said, I picked it up, and I started playing this song, and I said, you know this? And he looked at me, and he smiled, and I just figured out how to play plush acoustic. And he fucking started to sing. And I couldn't, I had to stop. I couldn't play. I was pissing myself. I was so excited because he was fucking blowing my mind.
Interesting.
And so I'm going, fuck me, this is great. And Brian says to me, Max, the reason I'm here is I want to be your lead singer. And I'm going, fuck you. And he goes, what? Well, yeah, no, I want to do this. And I said, if you fucking think I'm taking on the Armstrong family, you're out of your fucking mind. I am not getting in the fucking between two brothers.
Right.
He goes, what do I got to do? I said, there's only one way this is going to fucking happen, Brian. If you have Brad call me and you fucking tell Brad that he has to say to me, I fucking relieve myself, and you can use my brother, and you have my blessing. If Brad doesn't call me and say that, fuck you, we ain't doing this. I love you, and you're great, brother, but I'm not fighting your family.
I'm surprised you took that stance because Brad had already blown you off.
Well, Brian's a completely different guy than Brad.
Right.
Brad's what I fucking.
How well did you know Brad?
Brad?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Brad and I had a great relationship.
One of the greatest
hold on.
technicians in the
Oh,
Wait a minute,
Brad
hold on.
was fucking. You know what the problem with Brad was?
One
He's
thing,
too soft of a heart.